Hey guys, welcome to the Catway. So in this video, we are going to solve a LRDI set which is slightly based on Venn diagram. So before I begin, I would like to thank all the people who have joined us. Our Facebook group link is there in the description below. Now let's roll in for the video. So the question says that students in a college study different subjects among mathematics, physics and chemistry. In each subject, every student receives a grade among A, B, C, D and E. The number of students who studied mathematics, physics and chemistry during a certain year was 150, 200 and 200 respectively. The cluster bar chart given below shows the percentage-wise split up of the students studying each subject according to the grades received by them. The area shaded white in each bar graph gives the percentage of students who received the same grade in at least one other subject. The area shaded gray, that is, they're talking about this blue part, okay? Just a second, yeah. The area shaded gray in each bar graph gives the percentage of students who received that grade only in that subject. Further, the following information is known. Any students who receive the same grade in all the three subjects is considered to be consistent in that grade. The number of students who were consistent in a grade is a distinct natural number for each grade. So let us now come to the example. This one is only for the how do we read the graph. Okay, so I'm going to tell you that. So let's talk about mathematics. Okay, there are 150 students in mathematics. We know that. Out of these 150 students, this 6%. Okay, this 6%, that is 9 students are there who got A grade only in mathematics. Okay, so there are 9 students who got A grade only in mathematics, whereas the remaining 4% from grade A, that is 6 students, these 6 students have got grade A in mathematics, but apart from that they have also got grade A in at least one more subject from physics and chemistry. Now at least one more subject means that out of these 6, there are all the 6 have got grade A in maths, but some of them might have got grade A in physics also, some would have got grade A in chemistry, and there would have been some who have got grade A in all the subjects, that is also in physics and also in chemistry, and those are the students who are going to be known as consistent in that grade. Okay, so this is about the reading of the table. Now let us move towards the question, because there is nothing else what we can do from here. So how many students are consistent in grade A? So consistent in grade A, see, there are 6 students as I've told you from mathematics. Okay, 6 from maths, grade A. There are 16 students from physics in grade A. Okay, and there are 20 students from chemistry in grade A. Now how did this come is, see, as I've told you that these are the 6 students who got grade A in maths and one more subject. Okay, because when we are talking about consistent, we have to take the people who have got in more than one subject. Okay, similarly for physics there are 200 students. Out of these 200 students, these 8%, okay, these 8% students, that is 16 students, have got grade A in physics as well as one more subject. And similarly for chemistry, out of the 200 students, these 10% students have got grade A in chemistry as well as some other subject. So that means a total of there are 6 from maths, 16 in physics and 20 in chemistry who have got grade A in all these subjects, multi individual subjects, plus at least one subject. Okay, so this is what the chart reads to us. Okay, Acha, now there is going to be an overlap. So whenever there is an overlap kind of situation, you should make a Venn diagram. Okay, so let us make a Venn diagram. This one is for maths, this one is for physics, and this one is for chemistry. Okay, Acha, let us take that the number of students who are consistent in grade A is equal to A. So they will be in the middle part, and this is the value which we have to find out. Okay, Acha, now let us consider that the total number of students who are consistent in both maths and physics are going to be B. Okay, so consistent in maths and physics are going to be B. Acha, now look at the total number of students who are consistent in maths plus one other subject, they are equal to 6. Okay, total number of students, that is the value of this plus this plus this, that is maths plus one more subject. Okay, so this is maths and chemistry, this is math, physics, chemistry, and this is math and physics. The total value of this is going to be 6. So because this is B and this is A, we can say that this part is going to be 6 minus A minus B. On the similar lines, we know that the value of this portion and this portion is going to be 16, because we know that physics plus one more subject, so this is physics chemistry, this is physics chemistry maths, and this is physics and maths. So the value of this is given to us as 16. Okay, the value has been given to us as 16. So this value can be written as 16 minus A minus B. Okay, and on the similar lines, we know that students who got in chemistry, that is the value of this plus this plus this, is equal to 20. So if we subtract 20 minus a, okay, 20 minus a, if we subtract, we will get the value of this portion and this portion, that is maths and chemistry and maths and physics, okay, because we have subtracted all three. So what we will be left is that maths plus chemistry and physics plus chemistry is what we are left with, and that value is equal to 20 minus a. So that means the value of 6 minus a minus b plus the value of 16 minus a minus b is equal to 20 minus a. These are all about the equations, okay, how well you can make your equations, it is all about that. Okay, now let us solve this. So this comes out to be 22 minus 2a minus 2b is equal to 20 minus a. Okay, now this can be written as, let's see, okay, so this will be, this can come out to be 2 2 uh, 2 minus a minus 2b is equal to 0, and what we can write it as that a plus 2b is equal to 2. Okay, a plus 2b is equal to 2. Now what are the values that a and b can take? See, one value that a can take is 0. Sorry guys, one value that a can take is 0, whereas b will take 1. The other value that a can take is 2, and then b can take as 0. Now let's see which of these values are possible. Acha, while reading the question, we found out that the number of students who were consistent in a grade, that is the value of a which we have to find out, okay, has to be a distinct natural number. When you check out both the cases, in one case the value of a is 0, whereas in one case the value of a is 2. So if the value of a is 0, is it possible? No, it isn't, because it has to be a natural number. So the case which we are going to take is a is equal to 2, and we were asked the value of a that is consistent, and consistent means in all three subjects, that is the value of a. So what we can say is that the number of students who are consistent in grade A is equal to 2. So a will be 2 in this case. Let's move to the second question. If the number of students who are consistent in grades C, D and E, okay, so C, D and E we have been given respectively, what is the total number of students in a college who are consistent in any grade? Acha, consistent in any grade, what does it mean? It means that consistent in A, B, C, D and E. Out of this we have been given that C is 5, we have been given D is 8, and we have been given E is 6. We have calculated that A is going to 2, that is A is 2, that is not going to change because there was no any specific information on basis of which we calculated it. So that value stands for each and every question. Okay, so the value of A is 2. Now what do we need to find out? The only thing which we need to find out for this question is the value of number of consistent students in B. So for finding out the value of consistent students in B, we can apply the same thing which we did in the question number 1. Okay, so applying the same thing, what do we get is at the end the equation which we are going to get is a plus 2b is equal to 4 is the equation which we are going to get. Okay, similarly on the same lines, the way which through which we made a Venn diagram and then we solved the equation, the same exact very thing has to be done for B, just the values will change. There's nothing else. Okay, there's nothing special in this. So at last the value which we found out was a plus 2b, where a is the number of people who are consistent in all of them. Okay, acha, a plus 2b if it is there, then let's check what can be the values that a and b can take. So the first value that a can take is 2 and b can take is 1, whereas second value a can take is 0, b can take as 2, but this we can rule out as we ruled out in the last case, because a cannot be a whole number, it cannot be 0, it has to be a natural number. And the last thing that a can take is 4 and b can be 0. Okay, so these are the three cases. Out of this, one case is to gone. Now remaining these two cases, if you have to determine which case we are going to take for B, so again move back towards the question and read the same line again, that the number of students who were consistent in any grade is a distinct natural number for each grade. Now because we know that A is equal to 2 has already been taken for grade A, for grade B what we are going to do is we are going to take that A is equal to 4. Okay, so for this we can say that a is equal to 4, and we can add all of them to get what is the total number of students in the college who are consistent in any grade. So 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11, 11 plus 8 is 19, and 19 plus 6 is 25. So the correct answer for question number 2 is going to be 25. Okay, now let's move towards the third question. So if the number of students consistent in grade D is 6, okay, how many students would have got grade D in mathematics and chemistry? Okay, so let's see what we can do. As a number of students consistent in grade D is given as 6. Okay, so let us make our Venn diagram beforehand. So this is for mathematics, this is for physics, and this one is for chemistry. We have been given that consistent means in all the three, so this value has been given to us as 6. Okay. Now let's see what we can do. So from the chart, let's move towards the chart and let's check out for grade D what information we have been given. So we can see that the number of students who got grade D in at least one other subject along with mathematics is 12%, and 12% of 150. So that means from maths it is going to be 18 students who are in mathematics plus at least one other subject. For physics it is 15% of 200, that means it is going to be equal to 30. So from physics the value is going to be 30. Similarly for chemistry it is 20%, that means the value is going to be 40. Okay, so let's write that down. So maths it is 18, physics it is 30, and for chemistry it is 40. Okay, so this is what we have. Achha, now what we can do is we can again write it in that form. So let's take this one as x. Okay, earlier let's go back to the previous equation what we made in question number 1. Achha, now let's see what we can do is, see, because this is 6 and this is x and the total of these three is going to be 18. So what we can say about this is that this one is going to be 12 minus x. Okay, and similarly this one is the total of this is 30, out of which 6 and x is gone, so this one we can say that it is 24 minus x. Okay, acha, let, if you add, or if you add these two, okay, if you add these two, what are they going to be equal to? They are going to be equal to 40 minus 6. They are going to be equal to 40 minus 6 because see, the reason behind that, similar to the first question, value of this plus this plus this is going to be 40. Out of this 6 is gone, so that means remaining is 34, that is 40 minus 6, 34. This 34 will be equal to 12 minus x plus 24 minus x. Okay, now equate them. So 12 minus x plus 24 minus x is equal to 34. From here what do we get? Let's see. Okay, so 24 and 36 is equal to 34 plus 2x. We get 2x is equal to 2 and we get x is equal to 1. Okay, so we have a value of x is equal to 1. Acha, now let's see what was the question asked to us. Mathematics and chemistry. So we have been asked that how many students got mathematics and chemistry, grade D in mathematics and chemistry. So going by the rules of Venn diagram, we know it has been said that mathematics and chemistry, so we will include every place where there is maths and there is chemistry together. That means we will also include the place where all three of them are together. So let's check out the first case where maths and chemistry are together. So this is the first case where maths and chemistry are together. The value is 12 minus x, that is equal to 12 minus 1 is equal to 11. And this one we will take because maths and chemistry are together there in the middle part. So that is 6. So add 6 into that and what do we get is 17. And that means 17 will be answer for the third question. Okay. So I hope everybody has understood this set, guys. It was a good set. You can practice it again. So thanks for watching the video.